is there something I can say I know? Or is this me being painfully, eternally hopeful? Oh God, you have no idea what you're doing, but I do. On the 9th of May I wrote it down. I found a journal when I was moving into your house. A big love, those are the words. It was gonna be big love. Is it gonna be okay if you keep some things just for you and I keep some things just for me? Is it okay to give each other almost everything? Everything, everything, almost everything, everything, almost. I had a dream there was a baby inside of me, one hand on my belly, the other one pointing, ordering you around the house like a bitch, and you just laughing and taking it. And then I think about my parents. What if they're not here to see it? I don't think that I could handle it. Don't wanna start believing it, so I completely avoid it. Is it gonna be okay if we really do this? Build a family, build a life. Dad always used to say that you can have everything, but not all at the same time. Everything, almost everything, everything, almost, almost everything, almost everything, everything, almost, almost. We've got it, baby. We've got it, everything. We've got it, baby. We've got it, everything, almost.
It is World Cafe, downstairs at the Music Hall at World Cafe Live, performance of Everything Almost from my guest today, Madi Diaz. The new album is called Weird Faith. Madi, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I feel like this record could be a Rorschach test, and I kind of went through the range of emotions while I listened to it. I bet you there are people out there who listen to that record and said, this is a record about falling in love. And then there is a different subset of people who are like, I think this record's actually about a breakup, which is masterful if you're holding that mirror up and you aren't exactly sure. What was the intention when you started work on this record?
It's funny that you say that because when I was writing it, I was very much in a relationship and in love with this person, and exactly that. I was falling in love, and I was also kind of like going through like big life transition stuff, like, my career wasn't going horribly weirdly at that moment, and so it was just kind of this like new approach to life where like positive things were happening, and I've never been the one to like really expect anything, so that way when anything happens, hopefully I'm pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I don't know, like I think I was really just trying to like process my life at that moment, and I definitely thought that I was, especially because I was falling in love, I was like, well, these are love songs, obviously.
Sure.
And then I went through a breakup about almost a year ago, and I showed the record to a friend of mine, and he was like, my bro, this is absolutely a breakup record, what is wrong with you?
Talk about putting your cards out on the table. There are several moments on this album that it could be very much like, is that being written through the eyes of a protagonist, or is this just you laying all the cards out? And evidently that was what happened.
Yeah, I think I just kind of kept going like, this is where I am. This is where I am. This is where I am. And it, obviously like the song can't be two-sided because it's me writing it, and I never wrote a song with him. So there you go.
There you go. Do you, I love when an album goes out into the world because what once belonged to you belongs to everyone else. And then people have the chance to sort of breathe it in. I know it's only been 3 or 4 weeks, but have you been surprised at all by the response or anyone gravitating to a song? I know you've only been on the road for a little bit, but.
Yeah, I think it's relieving on some level when a record comes out, that it's not mine anymore. And then it's also like terrifying on some level because it's not mine anymore. I can't have like these like very one-dimensional opinions of like thoughts that I've had, like I have to, then I go wide, we go wide. I've been really surprised by the reception of both Weird Faith and God Person. Neither one of those songs, God Person was not really supposed to be on the record. It was just kind of like it meant something to me. It means something to me, and just felt like it needed more. The body of work needed more body, so ended up putting on God Person like later on in the recording process. And I've had people say really beautiful, lovely things about that song. So yeah.
Let's listen to a little bit of God Person from Madi Diaz here on World Cafe.
I'm not a God person, but I'm never not searching. Looking at the sky, staring at the ocean. If there's something to know, then I wanna know it. I wanna hold it. I wanna feel it. And maybe I can't say that I'm not a God person.
On World Cafe with Madi Diaz, that was a little bit of God Person from the new album, which is called Weird Faith. And the songwriting on this record, there's a feeling you get sometimes when you feel like someone is trying to be clever for the sake of clever, and it doesn't necessarily play. There are some incredible oh wow moments, but they all feel earned. They never feel like they're trying too hard. It's a smart record lyrically. How do you thread that needle where you can, turn a phrase really well, but not lose authenticity or not feel like, it's almost too workshopped? Do you know how?
I know exactly what you mean. I think, I've been playing music for 15 something years. And I think, as time has kind of gone on, I've relied more and more heavily on like feeling the truth in my actual like gut, like below the belly button. If something like feels real and true, like I know when it is real and true, or if something feels like a cool way to say it, but is not, like I'm
genuine?
trying to, it's not genuine, or I'm trying to like dress it up and it's not quite like the outfit that I would like walk around in my daily life in,
Yeah.
I feel like some of these songs and not a lot of these songs, but a couple of these songs, I had the good fortune of trying them out live, like in front of audiences. And that was like always like a big indicator for me of whether that was actually going to like hit the mark of true for me, was whether or not like I could stay in my body and like play the whole song top to bottom, or if like halfway through the song I was like, cool, thank you, see you later.
How's your process? Like you said, you've been playing for several years. Like, how has the process evolved as a songwriter? Do you still have the same routine that you did when you started?
Oh God, no, thank God I don't.
Whoa, okay. Well, what was
I
it
mean,
in
the routine of like a 20-year-old is psychotic, and it's just like so hard. Just like barely surviving. I'm much nicer in my routine to myself than I used to be. I mean, it changes all the time still. Like I feel like, especially when I'm traveling so much, I rely so much more on, like journals. Like journals have been so big for me in the last couple of years, which I know is such a duh thing. It really is. But, we have these phone things and they're so exhausting to look at. And I've really, really loved journaling in the last couple of years, and like being able to kind of go back and like, shut out the rest of the world and hone in on actual words. That's been really important to me.
Yeah. You also have done a lot of writing for other people in Nashville, whether it's like the TV show Nashville or El King and Kesha. Do you Do you find that it is easier to have the restrictions of writing for someone else versus filling up your own notepad with your own ideas for songs?
To be honest, I have only ever had success when I think I'm writing for myself.
Really? So you don't even have to so you're still in the same boat.
It's just writing a good song. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like the thing that has continued to surprise me is like the gift that a good song can give, and that Kesha song "Resentment" is like the example to me. It felt like I knew that I wanted to put that song on my record, and when she told us that she wanted to put that on her record, I was like, oh man, is this how Dolly Parton feels? This is so cool. But I don't know, I feel like that's such an important, special thing that a song can have so many lives, if it's just rooted in truth and feel,
I got something I gotta get off of my chest. I've been staying up while sleeping in my bed. I don't hate you, babe. It's worse than that. 'Cause you hurt me and I don't react. I've been building up this thing for months. Oh, resentment.
That was a bit of Resentment by Kesha. We're talking with Madi Diaz. This is World Cafe. The new album is called Weird Faith. My name is Kallao, and up next, the song that opens the album, and I was taken right off the bat, the very first opening line, because you have this beautiful, acoustic guitar strumming, and "What the F do you want?" Is the first words that come out of your mouth, which sounds like the start of a beautiful disaster. Tell us a little bit about Same Risk.
I didn't really think about how big the buy-in for the record was at the drop, but
Oh, I think you made friends and enemies after 6 words.
that's all I want. All I want is you gotta love it or hate it, as long as you're feeling intensely about it.
Sure.
Same Risk was one of the first songs that I wrote for this record. It is kind of what I was talking about, just putting everything that you have out on the table, and probably doing it maybe a little bit before the relationship warrants that, but you're just so excited at the idea, the thrill of love, that you're just kind of maybe feelings vomiting on the person a little bit.
I have a soft spot for questionable decisions, so there's sort of that sort of feeling where you're like, this is
I'm
a
your
bad
girl.
this is a bad idea, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's going to be good.
We just gotta see, you never know.
Definitely.
Expect nothing.
Expect disappointment. So similar. We're in the same page. All right, I'm going to let you get to doing a performance of Same Risk. It's Madi Diaz here on World Cafe.
What do you want? 'Cause I'll give you all that I've got. I'll let you clean out my closet, and I'll let you try on all of my dirty thoughts. If you lay in my bed, I know we're gonna have sex. It'll happen so fast, make a suicide pact, and you can't take that back. Do you think this could ruin your life? 'Cause I could see it ruining mine. And I feel mean for even thinking this. Are you gonna throw me under the bus? Make me take the hit for the I could see it ruining mine. All that I'm asking is, yeah, I'm just making sure we're taking the same risk.
This song was kind of like we were talking about, was written on the backs of a lot of mantras that I was finding for myself at that moment. And this one, Weird Faith, just kind of became like the overall thesis statement of the record. It's kind of how I try to put a little pep in my step every day.
Why does it have to beat me up to prove to me that it was love? I still don't know if it was a curse or a blessing. So I picked myself up off the floor, said I'm not gonna do it like I did it before. It's the best thing. It's the best thing when you can treat it like it's magic, when you hold it not to have it, and you wanna learn to leave, and you wanna learn to stay. 'Cause every love brings a lesson, and you're gonna be tested. So try to have a heart of gold, and try to have weird faith. So the whole world turned and the sun spun around, and I got up from where I got down. And if I know only one thing now, it's that I made it. And I sweeten up the bitterness, I let the magician keep his tricks. 'Cause knowing and not knowing it is how to find it. When you're not looking, you can treat it like it's magic. You can hold it not to have it, and you wanna learn to leave, and you wanna learn to stay. 'Cause every love brings a lesson, and you're gonna be tested. So try to have a heart of gold, and try to have weird faith. I could protect myself from everybody else, or I could wait and have a little faith and treat it like it's magic, and hold it not to have it. And I wanna learn to leave, and I wanna learn to stay. 'Cause every love brings a lesson, and I'm gonna be tested. So I'm gonna have a heart of gold, and I'm gonna have weird faith. I'm gonna have a heart of gold, I'm gonna have weird faith.
The song is Weird Faith, recorded live here at World Cafe in Philadelphia from my guest, Madi Diaz. It's the title track to her new album, which is available now. I'd like to address the horse girl allegations. So when you were potentially about to, maybe thinking about a different career, one of the things that you were interested in, maybe you Googled it, was equine massage. Is that right?
Yeah. When I was, I grew up riding horses. When I was like 8 or 9, I started riding horses, and then I picked up a guitar and I ran away to the city.
What city?
Actually, Philadelphia.
Yeah, right.
I grew up in kind of, it's not close to Lancaster, but it's called Peckway Valley. It's close to the Susquehanna River-ish, but it's about an hour and a half from Philadelphia proper. And it was lots of cornfields and Amish people and trees. And I grew up like helping take care of like a very large breeding barn and riding barn. And it was like my whole universe. And it's so funny, like, when you're like 15, 16, it's like, you can't help it. You just want to buck whatever's around you, and I was like, yeah, I got to get out of here. I got to get to the big city. and now like everything that I do, like it's like all to like get back to that quiet part of my life. Like I found, in a journal like 2 or 3 years ago when I was moving, this journal entry that I had gotten down before I left for college at Berkeley in Boston, and I wrote this like kind of like message to, I guess, my future self, and I was like, don't forget that horses are where you go to be quiet, and like always go find horses. And I just, oh my God, just 3 years ago, it just made me so emotional. And it, I call my publishing company for the horses, and my touring company is for the horses. It's all for the horses.
Let's switch gears. In the animal kingdom, from horses to ants, because you had an ant infestation during what is probably one of the most surreal phone calls you're ever going to get.
That's true.
Look, I love a good ant infestation story, but this one ends with you playing with one of the biggest pop stars on the planet. So what happened?
I was actually in a rental car on my way to Philadelphia to start a tour opening for Waxahachie. And it was like just a brutal, 12, 13-hour drive from Nashville. And the sun was starting to go down. And then I hit traffic. I left town a little bit too late. And then like I felt something crawling on me. And I thought that it was maybe just my paranoia. But like I started to spot, like there were just ants all in this vehicle. It was the craziest thing that I've ever experienced. They were like, I found like 40 ants. Like it was absolutely horrible. And I'm like it's getting dark. I'm like getting bit by these ants. It was ridiculous. And then I get a phone call from my manager, and I could tell that he was really super hyped, and I really needed some good news. So I was just full thirst. Like, please tell me, what is it? I can hear it in your voice. What is it? And he was like, okay, I have some good news. Okay. So, and it's like bumper to bumper traffic. And I'm just like, oh God, he's like, there's this pop star. And I say, I'll do it.
No hesitation.
No hesitation. I mean, he didn't tell it. And he was like, and I go, who is it? And he said, okay. It's Harry Styles. And, at that point, like, I pulled the car over, and I like turned the car off for a second, and I got out, and I just like had a quick, like, I screamed. I probably looked like a crazy person, but it's fine because I'm never going to see any of those people ever again, ever, unless they're listening right now, which would be hilarious. They're like, oh, that's what that girl was doing. Like, I thought she was having a meltdown on the side of the not untrue. Yeah.
So you opened for him, but then he invited you back to play in his band, which I mean, collaboration is such a huge part of music, and it's always interesting to see how other people work. Is there anything that surprised you or interested you in his process that you're like, I like the way that he does that, or how he thinks about whether it's sequencing or performance or instrumentation?
Yeah, I mean, it was really wild to watch, and really lovely to see that he's so involved, like from the downbeat, in organizing and preparing and like making the show. It's very much his, and you can tell that he's just been doing it for so long. It just feels like very reflexive, like sort of like watching somebody breathe. It was just like watching him be in the process of building this giant show. Yeah, it was really special.
This is World Cafe. We're here with Madi Diaz. I always know with this aspiring musicians or people who are trying to get their footing, it's always looking for the next gig or the next opportunity, and I go down the road until I get there. But when you have options, it's like, wow, okay, that's almost overwhelming in a different way.
Yeah, I think right now I'm still getting used to, I'm on tour right now, and I'm still getting used to things going well, and like things feeling good, and tour feeling good, and shows feeling good, and people showing up and like knowing the songs and like wanting to be here and like singing these songs. And so I think like I'm just so inside of like enjoying this moment that I feel like I've literally been working, like 15 years to try to like cultivate and conjure, and just, like kind of writing these songs and crossing my fingers and seeing what happens. And yeah, I don't know. There's some really exciting things coming up, but it just is. It's been beyond wild to experience playing these songs for people and like doing these shows every night. Like I can't even tell you. It's awesome.
Sounds like you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm actually. It's weird to just have a good time. I mean it. It's. I feel like that's been part of like the weird faith thing is that I feel like so much of me is bracing myself for something horrible to happen or for nothing to happen. And I've just been so beautifully and pleasantly surprised, and I'm just really trying to like melt into like thanks for it,
Yeah. This is World Cafe. My guest is Madi Diaz. The new album is called Weird Faith. We have one more song to get to, Obsessive Thoughts. It's Madi Diaz here on World Cafe.
I've been hoping, feeling emotion, driving to the ocean, a symbol of my devotion. It's a light, it's a light. Obsessive thought, all a guide, obsessive thought, obsessive thought. Want to take back senseless attacks, 'cause I promise I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I just react. It's a lie. It's a lie. Obsessive thought. Obsessive thought. All a guide. All a guide. Obsessive thought. Obsessive thought. Is it all or nothing? Am I make believing? Does the heart always know what's true? Is it hard to love me? 'Cause I exist intensely, and my messages don't get through. It's a lie. And all I got, obsessive thought. It's a lie, lie. It's a lie, lie. Obsessive thought. All a guide, all a guide. Obsessive thought, obsessive thought.
That was Obsessive Thoughts. It's from my guest today, Madi Diaz. The new album is called Weird Faith. Madi, thank you so much for being here. This was an absolute blast. Congratulations on the success, the album, and wishing you great things moving forward in 2024.
Thank you so much for having me. You have no idea what it means to be invited back to this room.
Our pleasure. Madi Diaz, everyone.